Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pro Wrestling 225, where the action comes alive. That's right, it's me, it's Patrick Flynn, it's the original play by play commentator of Pro Wrestling 225, South Louisiana's premier professional wrestling organization, and I am so excited to be back with you here for this once in a lifetime podcast that hopefully won't be for the very last time. After an extended conversation with Michael Iglesias and a couple of other officials at Pro Wrestling 225, even though I've relocated, it's such a thrill to be able to come back to you, even in this capacity, even if I'm not at ringside anymore, to be able to go over what all is going on, help promote future events, and talk about all the action that's going on right there in South Louisiana. And, frankly, at the beginning of some fresh talks with Michael Iglesias and other officials. There's no telling what exactly is about to come around the turnpike, so I would keep your eyes peeled and your ears tuned in. Couple of things going on. Big time match coming up for the Pro Wrestling 225 World Heavyweight title. We have Mad Dog Gil Gracie given a title shot against the new champion Mustang Mike. Now, it absolutely breaks my heart that I was not there to see Mustang Mike do it. It was such a privilege to get to watch him all the way from the first Rumble to here, being able to overcome the Minotaur, who just mowed down all of his competition all year long, and now he's been supplanted. He was on top. He's not on top anymore, or at least not for now. Momentarily, the big Fleur de Lis title is in the possession of one Mustang Mike, who is an absolutely phenomenal superstar and a professional, like everybody at Pro Wrestling 225, despite recent accusations. But we'll go over those a little later. Um, but that being said, enough about Mustang Mike. Let's talk about Gil Gracie. Gil, there's more to him than meets the eye. He's got a little sass to him. He's got a little attitude to him. But his strikes are stiff. His slams are stiffer. This is a man who almost thrives on people underestimating him, not taking him seriously enough, playing around every now and then coming back with the vengeance of pulling off hot victories, big matches that he walks away from with a W. And I have to tell you, I almost think it's unfair. Even I'll go so far as to say Mustang Mike has to go head to head with Gil Gracie right off the bat with the title. I mean, that's an insanely big match, hot off the last title match at the last show. I mean the stardom in the match, the quality of the competitors, and the action that's going to come. Man, I got to tell you, for the price, for several hours of enjoyment. So, gotta see it. Have to attend the event. You have to see this match because listen, there's people who really don't think Mustang Mike can do it. Surprisingly, but there's questions if Minotaur took the wind out of his sails. Maybe Gil Gracie can pull it off. There's only one way to find out. Speaking of course, there's the Rumble match itself, and man, Robbie E has entered it. Now, that alone, an Impact Wrestling star, an Impact Wrestling main eventer, multiple occasions, right here in Pro Wrestling 225. And he appreciates that Pro Wrestling 225 is such the marquee brand in local professional wrestling and sports entertainment, which is a term I don't like, but I'll use it loosely because it casts a big net. He wants a shot at the World Heavyweight title, the Pro Wrestling 225 World Heavyweight title, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the only pro wrestling title of true prestige and main event class in South Louisiana. All due respect to some of our contemporaries, all due respect, but gotta say we do pretty good. I look at some of the other champions, and they're great champions. But I don't know that they're Mustang Mike, and I don't know that they were the Minotaur earlier on in the year. So you can't miss that match. It's not just for the return of Robbie E. It's also Xtian Blake is back. Now, we haven't seen him in a year. We haven't seen him from the last Revolution Rumble match. And it's so fascinating, the possibilities that can come with this man. Because we haven't seen him since the Minotaur debuted and threw him and Mustang Mike out of the ring together and became the Pro Wrestling 225 World Heavyweight Champion. And now it's come full circle because he's re-injecting himself to try to get a title shot at a title that, for all the world, it seemed he had a fair chance at until the Monster showed up. Well, the Monster doesn't have the title anymore. Mustang Mike does. He was the other man left in the ring. How will that play into Xtian Blake's psyche? Will he have anything to say to Mustang Mike, or is he straight laser focused on the Rumble match and earning his title shot against either Mustang Mike or Gil Gracie? Not only that, at the Rumble, keep in mind, One Man Gang is back. You can't miss it. Pro wrestling superstar and legend. He will be there live and in person to watch the action come alive. You can't miss it. You can't pass up the opportunity to meet the man and to appreciate the historical value of it, that Pro Wrestling 225 is able to bridge Impact Wrestling of today with the Universal Wrestling Federation of 30 years ago. And it's all going to be under one roof at the Copac Gym. And lastly, the last thing I want to touch on is it's the unfortunate Michael White situation. I don't know that Iglesias wanted me to bring it up, the commissioner, but I do want to say something about it. I want to tell you that I left Pro Wrestling 225 after 2 shows because I relocated for other professional opportunities elsewhere in the country. For the time spent working, at no point was I ever underpaid or paid in an incorrect timetable of what had been priorly agreed. And, at no point did I ever misunderstand the nature of what was happening in the ring, or how it could spill to ringside or get to the commentary table. And that's just my personal experience. You sign up to participate, or you're lucky enough to get hired, is I guess the more pertinent way of saying it, at these events, knowing full well that anything can and will happen. In professional wrestling, unfortunately, there have been deaths in the middle of the ring. It just comes with the territory. It comes with the violent nature of the business, and all superstars, wrestlers, competitors, whatever term you want to give it, and us staff members, managers, referees, we all understand that anything can and will happen. So, Michael White's recent claims that, and I have a quote here, mind you, because his lawsuit has gone from claiming that wages weren't paid, which is, well, that's slanderous, and it's not true, not from my experience or anybody else's I've met. But now he's claiming that he's been put in unsafe situations, and it's not that he's just leaving it to his legal team. It's now spreading over to where he's going around to other companies trying to find a job. I don't know who'd want to hire the troublemaker. Someone does. I probably shouldn't have said that, but that's okay. I'm kind of in a pretty okay position to say whatever I want to say, but more on that another time. Um, he's going around to these other companies making these wild, slanderous claims. And then he says that he wasn't aware that of the danger of it. I have a quote from his lawyer here, who said in a statement, quote, Pro Wrestling 225 failed to educate my client of the dangers and hazards in and out of professional wrestling competition, including but not limited to the pain inflicted by the wrestling throw known as a choke slam, end quote. That's right. Michael White is claiming that he did not know a choke slam could hurt so bad, and that's grounds for his lawsuit. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous, well, for one, that his limp is quite so wrist, or that his wrist is quite so limp, rather. I think that it's just an absurd notion, and he's not just leaving it to his legal team. Um, he's trying to get the company shut down, and you got to appreciate Pro Wrestling 225 puts guys to work, dozens of young men and women every show. You know, I'd like to point out that whenever World Championship Wrestling went belly up in 2001, officially in 2003, but it ended its shows in 2001 and had so many of its assets liquidated by, at the time, the World Wrestling Federation. A lot of those guys didn't get carried over. AJ Styles did not wind up on Raw that year, you know? Guys lose their jobs when professional wrestling companies are gobbled up. And for Michael White to try to cost so many bright, talented, able young men and women their jobs, and even the veterans, one man gang, giving him somewhere to be and somewhere to coach and mentor the new generation that we have of professional wrestlers, and Michael White and his lawsuits trying to take all that away. I have very serious problems with that. I have more serious problems with it than frankly, I'm willing to, or that I dare express on this little audio cast. But I have a funny feeling things are about to change. Frankly, I have more than a funny feeling about it. So keep your eyes on the Facebook, fans. Thank you so much for joining me. It was so great to talk about the Rumble, the title match, the match itself, the Rumble match, return of Robbie E, Xtian Blake, and the One Man Gang. And Big Ramp, of course, he'll be there, the ever disruptive. And hopefully the Michael White situation will be laid to rest soon, one way or another. But remember, fans, Super Gold 2, Copac Gym, doors open at 6, bell time at 7. It's all coming to you. It's coming to you hot. Cannot miss the event. Fundraiser for the American Legion Iberville Post 167, January 27th, 2018. Don't miss where the action comes alive in the new year. This is Patrick Flynn, signing off.